Welcome to Saw Today Episode 2. Today we'll be installing a baby gate and a door frame that we don't want to put screws in. This installation technique will apply to most spaces that you don't want to put screws into, including stairwells. You're going to need rulers and or a tape measure, drill and drill bits, screws and L brackets. Make sure your screws fit flush into the L bracket. Pre-stain, stain, and wax or finishing product of your choice. Rags to apply these finishing products. Safety gear. Wood. I'm using cheap wood because babies grow up. The gate installation guide. A table saw or miter saw. And of course, completely unnecessary, but the laser. Begin by evaluating the area where you want to install the baby gate. What we are looking for in particular is a place to install a flat board and a nearby sturdy ridge. In my example, I'll be essentially clamping a piece of wood to my baseboard using the sturdy ridge as an anchor. Grab your tape measure and begin measuring the area where you'll be installing the gate. This is sometimes one of the more difficult tasks. First, make sure that your gate is the right size for the gap. You'll want to measure the height and width of your baseboard, as well as the distance to the outer ridge. Make note of any obstacles along the height of your sturdy ridge. Along mine, I have crossbar window frames. Choose a plank of wood with sufficient width and height for your baseboard. It should be wide enough to cover the full width of the baseboard and about as high as your gate. I chose very poor quality spruce worth about $2. You can see the warp in the wood. But this will only be there for a short while until my baby grows out of it. Then trim your width to fit your baseboard exactly. I did some quick planing because of the warp. I decided to router the edges to make it look nice and also to take away a sharp edge from the baby. Choose a suitable bit and run it along the sides and the top, leaving the bottom untouched. You can also bevel the edges with a table saw as we did for the butcher's block. Get out your sander and sandpaper and sand the edges very smooth. Make sure it's well sanded because a baby will be touching it. Now we'll be installing brackets on the side. This can be done with L brackets or pieces of wood. These brackets will be inset into the reverse side of the wood. On the reverse side of the wood, mark down all the obstructions we had noted earlier. We're going to attach our brackets about halfway between these notations. Find your halfway point and mark it across both planks of wood with your ruler. This should be done on 2 points on both pieces of wood. To carve the tracks, you can use either a table saw or a router. I'll be using a table saw. Set your blade height to the height of one of your brackets. Slice out a groove along the lines the width of your bracket. If you're using a table saw, this will take a couple passes. Lastly, clean out the grooves with a chisel or screwdriver. Don't attach the brackets yet. Mark the height of the gate screws according to your gate instructions onto the face of your wood. For mine, that's 6 inches from the floor and then 16.5 inches from the first hole. Make sure to put an indent so you can find it later. At this point you can apply your finishing product. Just follow the instructions on what you're using. I'll be using an oil-based tint for this one, so it'll have a pre-stain, stain, and then a finish. Then apply your stain until you have the finish that you want. And of course, the laser. If you want to see more cool projects like this, take a second to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below for any projects you want to see happen in the future. Since I'm using a finishing paste, I'm going to apply it before I add the hardware. Apply it and let it sit as per the instructions on the container. Buff off the wax until you have a nice shiny surface. Line your L brackets up into the grooves you made before. Make sure that the bend in your L bracket sits outside the edge of the wood. Screw in the L brackets now, pre-drilling the holes if you need to. Make sure your screws are the right size so they don't penetrate through the wood. Be careful when pre-drilling to make sure you don't penetrate the wood as well. You should also attach any hardware from the gate to the wood at this time. Prepare some dowling that is about 1 inch in diameter. You're going to need to cut off 8 pieces that are long enough to reach from the L bracket over the sturdy edge of your door frame. Drill an off-centered hole in each one of the pieces of dowling. Carefully place your plank over the faceboard, being careful not to scratch the faceboard with the L brackets. Loosely attach the dowling pieces through the off-centered hole. Rotate the dowling pieces until they pull your plank tightly against the faceboard. While keeping the tension, tighten the screws. Check to make sure that your plank is tightly against the faceboard. Once satisfied, attach the gate as per the manufacturer instructions. If you're attaching additional hardware now, make sure that the screws don't go all the way through to damage the wood behind your plank. Lastly, test to make sure your gate is secure. Thanks for watching the video. There are many more projects coming your way. Please take the time to subscribe so you can follow on this epic woodworking journey. Guess that's it. Let's saw today.